A family shattered. The vanishing of Susan Powell. December 6, 2009. A chilling date etched in the annals of true crime. It was the day Susan Powell, a young mother of two, vanished without a trace from her home in West Valley City, Utah. Her disappearance sent shockwaves through the community, unraveling a tale of deceit, manipulation, and unimaginable tragedy. At the heart of this enigma stood her husband, Josh Powell, a man whose sinister secrets would soon come to light. Susan's disappearance exposed a chilling reality lurking beneath the surface of an outwardly normal family. Her absence was more than just a missing person case. It was a chilling testament to the hidden horrors that can fester within seemingly ordinary homes. As investigators delved into the Powell family's life, a sinister portrait began to emerge, revealing a history of control, abuse, and a darkness that no one could have predicted. The nation watched, captivated and horrified, as the investigation unfolded. The case quickly gained national attention, gripping the public's imagination with its perplexing twists and turns. Every new detail seemed to deepen the mystery, painting a more disturbing picture of Josh Powell and his potential involvement in his wife's disappearance. Vulnerable beginnings. Susan's path to a troubled marriage. Susan Cox Powell, born in North Carolina, yearned for a life filled with love and family. Growing up in a strict religious household, she sought solace in the warmth and acceptance she craved. Little did she know that her desire for a loving family would lead her down a treacherous path, entwining her fate with a man who would forever alter the course of her life, Josh Powell. Susan and Josh's paths crossed in a singles ward of the LDS Church in Puyallup, Washington. Drawn to his charisma and charm, Susan saw in Josh the potential for the happy family she always desired. They married in 2001, embarking on a journey that promised love and companionship but would soon descend into a nightmare. Behind Josh's charming facade lurked a controlling nature that began to surface soon after their marriage. He exerted his dominance over Susan, dictating her actions and isolating her from her loved ones. Blinded by her longing for a picture-perfect family, Susan initially dismissed these red flags, clinging to the hope that things would eventually improve. However, Josh's controlling behavior was only the tip of the iceberg. As time passed, his true nature unraveled, revealing a sinister side that would have terrified Susan had she known the depths of his darkness. Trapped in a web of manipulation and abuse, Susan found herself increasingly isolated and desperate, her once bright spirit slowly dimming under the oppressive weight of her husband's control. Shadows of the past. Josh Powell's twisted upbringing. To understand the darkness that consumed Josh Powell, one must delve into the shadows of his past. Raised in a troubled home, Josh's childhood was marred by a dysfunctional family dynamic that would leave an indelible mark on his psyche. His father, Stephen Powell, was a man of questionable morals, harboring an unhealthy obsession with his daughter-in-law, Susan. Growing up under Stephen's roof exposed Josh to a warped sense of normalcy. His father's inappropriate behavior and blatant disregard for boundaries created a toxic environment that distorted Josh's perception of relationships and acceptable conduct. The seeds of control and manipulation were sown early on, taking root in the fertile ground of Josh's impressionable mind. As Josh matured, the disturbing patterns of behavior he learned from his father began to manifest in his own life. He mirrored his father's controlling tendencies, seeking to exert power and dominance over those around him. The apple, it seemed, had not fallen far from the tree. These early experiences cast a long shadow over Josh's life, shaping him into the man he would become. The twisted legacy of his upbringing followed him into adulthood, influencing his interactions with others, and ultimately leading to the tragic events that would unfold. Section 4. Despair behind closed doors. Control, manipulation, and the escalation of abuse. The Powell's marriage was a facade, a carefully constructed illusion masking the turmoil that raged beneath the surface. Josh's controlling behavior intensified, tightening his grip on Susan's life. He monitored her every move, dictated her finances, and isolated her from her family and friends. Susan became a prisoner in her own home, her spirit slowly crushed under the weight of his oppression. In 2004, the family relocated to Utah, a move orchestrated by Josh to further isolate Susan from her support system. He used their two young sons as pawns in his twisted game, manipulating Susan with threats of taking her children away from her. Fearful of losing her beloved boys, Susan endured his abuse, her once vibrant spirit slowly fading into despair. The move to Utah marked a turning point in the Powell's marriage, signaling an escalation of Josh's controlling behavior. Away from the watchful eyes of family and friends, he felt emboldened, his true nature revealing itself in increasingly disturbing ways. Susan's pleas for help went largely unanswered, her cries for help muffled by the walls of their home. As the years passed, Susan's once bright spirit dimmed, replaced by a quiet desperation. Her journal entries became a chronicle of her pain, a testament to the emotional and psychological torment she endured at the hands of her husband. The entries painted a chilling portrait of a woman trapped in a nightmare, her pleas for help echoing through the pages. Section 5: A Web of Deceit, the Disappearance and the Desperate Search for Truth. The chilling events of December 6, 2009, remain shrouded in mystery. Susan Powell vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a family shattered by grief. Josh, the last known person to see her alive, claimed she had simply disappeared during the night, but his story was riddled with inconsistencies. As investigators delved into the details surrounding Susan's disappearance, Josh's strange behavior and conflicting accounts raised red flags. He seemed more concerned with deflecting suspicion than with finding his missing wife. His lack of emotion and evasive answers only fueled suspicions that he knew more than he was letting on. The investigation uncovered a disturbing pattern of deceit and manipulation. Josh's web of lies began to unravel, revealing a sinister truth that sent chills down the spines of investigators. Evidence, though circumstantial, pointed towards a chilling conclusion. Susan had never left her home alive. The search for Susan captivated the nation, but despite the tireless efforts of law enforcement and the unwavering hope of her family, she was never found. The case went cold, leaving a void of unanswered questions and a family forever haunted by the mystery of her disappearance. Josh Powell, the man at the center of it all, maintained his innocence, but the truth, it seemed, lay buried with Susan.